we are joined by very successful Miami head football coach Mario Cristobal. Let's dive in first to the overall season that you guys had. You bring in Carson Beck. Last year, Cam Ward is the quarterback. You start off the season with a huge win over Notre Dame. Finish the year 10-2. Very good resume. I think it's worthy of the college football playoff. How would you assess the season top to bottom now that the regular season's complete?
Well, sure. Well, no, first of all, it's great to be on the show. Appreciate you having me. And it's been a great season. You know, we start off the season, game one, 8 new starters on defense, new coordinator, 6 new starters on offense, and come out the gates and we beat Notre Dame, and we go to be as high as number 2 in the country. You know, we stumbled in the middle there for a minute, and we're down 6 or 7 starters. And once we started getting a little bit healthy, you know, right now, arguably, we're playing the best football in the country by almost every metric imaginable. Top 5, top 10 as it relates to offense, defense, special teams play, and finished about as strongly as you can finish. And again, excited because we're getting even healthier and playing our best football here at the end of the season and ready to take this into the college football playoff.
There's a lot of talk about the ACC championship game. It's got Duke 7-5 going up against Virginia. Virginia played NC State earlier in the year, lost. There's a 5-way tie for second place. You guys were a part of that 5-way tie. When you look big picture, as the college football playoff has expanded, does it make a lot of sense to you to have conference championship games, or should we play regular seasons and just say, hey, let's take the best teams and go ahead and dive into the tournament? How do you see big picture college football there? Because a lot of people are saying you guys are the best team. I think you clearly have the best resume in the ACC, but yet you're not able to play in that championship game because of a 5-way tie that ended up happening.
Yeah, it's a bizarre situation. I mean, imagine, you know, getting a notice saying, hey, there's a 5-way tie, but when so-and-so played so-and-so on this particular date, which you played neither one of them, but one of them won by 2 points, so you have to sit, and someone else with, you know, this record has to go. Now, again, those rules were somehow put in place, those stipulations, so you got to live with it, but it is head-scratching, right? And there needs to be a remedy, one that actually makes sense. What is that remedy? I don't know. I think the NFL seems to have a pretty good grasp of how to do this in terms of divisions and conferences and whatnot. And, you know, maybe that is the best model to go to, but certainly the model that is in place right now leaves a lot of room for improvement. It actually opens up the door for a lot of discussions that can be settled on the field, a lot like we were talking about game one this year.
Okay, I got just a couple more for you. A lot of people, I live in Nashville now, watch Cam Ward play a lot, number 1 overall pick. This year, you've got Carson Beck. Have you gotten a chance to watch Cam Ward play very much for the Titans? I know you've been busy with your own team and getting ready. And how would you assess Cam Ward last year, Carson Beck this year, for people out there who watched your team play some last year and haven't watched as much this year? How are they similar? How are they different?
And they're 2 absolute studs. They're winners. They're competitors. It was an absolute just joy and a pleasure to have Cam here. Relentless competitor. I mean, to the point where, man, he would drive practice. He would drive his teammates, just like Carson Beck would. And then, you know, Cam Ward, he came from Washington State where every single game was like an uphill battle. And he got here. We surrounded him with some great talent. And he just took off, just broke every record imaginable, number 1 overall pick. And I do believe, you know, as time goes on and they continue to supplement the roster and the franchise with some really high caliber players, which is part of, again, any building process, I believe that the Titans will take off. I do. I mean, because not only him, but some of the other pieces I see around them, that organization is destined for some great, great things. We'll send more Miami Hurricanes your way, I promise. Okay. We'll get that done. But
we need all the help we can get with the Titans.
But, you know, Carson Beck is very similar. Different personalities, but super high football IQ, elite arm, just like Cam, understands the field and sees the field as good or better than anyone else I've ever been around. And they're both team-driven guys. Their only concern is winning and making the guys around them better. So I love them both. It's been awesome having Cam here. We expect to keep playing here with Carson as well. So we've been very fortunate with the type of players and the type of character of the young men that we've had here at the University of Miami.
How challenging is the calendar with all of these different things colliding in college football? Have you thought of a way to make it more of a process that isn't as contradictory and so much conflict with all this coming together simultaneously?
If you had a 3-hour show, I could lay it all out for you, brother. But it's a large blueprint, a big plan. It doesn't make sense. We get paid well to be able to handle it, but multitasking would be an understatement as it relates to what you have to be able to do to manage all this stuff. It is, look, thank God I have Cuban coffee by the truckload out back because it is always going down to be able to keep going and going. And I have unbelievable people that surround the men and women that are just incredible human beings, hard workers. So we make it work. And we're also at a place where people want to be at. So if you do lose people, you're going to have an opportunity to replace them with people that are as good or better. But it's pretty chaotic. There is no holiday. There is no downtime, man. You just go.